Okay, here's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to go over system timing. All right, the way we do this is we time all of the video sources to house sync. Okay, house sync is here. We want to take house sync, put house sync on black. We want to punch up number 4, okay, on the switcher, both program and preview. Next thing we want to do is set up the waveform monitor. We're going to set up the waveform monitor for this switcher on input B. External reference will be on waveform. The filter will be IRE. The sweep will be on 2H. The field will be 1.3, 2.4. Want to make sure that the mag button ×5 is off. We're going to go to mag 1 microsecond. Make sure DC rest is on. Make sure the gain, variable gain, is in the off position. We're going to take the leading edge of sync, which is right here, and move that over to center. We're going to take the horizontal blanking level. We're going to raise that up to a +20. We're going to double check to make sure the sync replacement switch is in the off position. Double check to make sure you're still on 20. And the leading edge of sync is in the center of the crosshairs here. And we're going to go over to the vector scope. I'm going to punch that up. We're going to turn the trace down a little bit. We're going to want to adjust so the center part of the trace is in the center, in the crosshairs, by using the vertical and horizontal adjustment for the vector scope, not the waveform. So you can see that move there. So we're going to put that in the center. You want to make sure you're looking at this straight on. Okay, once that's done, we're going to turn up the intensity a little bit, get the burst out here. Want to make sure that the burst is at the 9 o'clock position or 180 degrees from 0. Okay? Once we've done that, we go back to the waveform monitor. And the first piece of equipment, the video source that we're going to check for timing is a switcher. In order to do this switcher, you're going to come over to the keypad. You're going to call up 109. Verify you have 109 in here. Then you're going to touch Command. And you come up with HORZ, short for horizontal, which is the horizontal timing. We're going to use the sim control here to adjust the timing. First thing we're going to do is check it with the sync replacement switch. The switch is in the off position. Switch goes to the on position. Off, on. And if the leading edge of sync moves like this, then we're going to time it by turning the switch to the on position, adjusting the symmetry mode, bringing that into where our house sync or our gen lock is sitting. We're going to check it again, make sure it doesn't move forward or back. Then we're going to clear the command, put leading edge of sync in the off position, and then call up 107. Check to make sure it's 107. Hit Command, go to vector scope. You'll notice when you hit Command, we come up with burst. Okay, to adjust the burst, we're going to use the hue control and the saturation control and the hue control. This one says sat, this one says hue. This will adjust our burst, saturation, and the phase of the burst. So first thing we'll do is we'll check it. And if it moves, we're going to correct it. Okay? And you can see there that it is off. There's house sync, there's a switcher. House sync, switcher. So we put the sync replacement switch in the on position. We come around to the saturation, bring that out a little bit, come over to the phase control, dial that puppy around. We're looking at the end of the trace here, and we want that on 75% to 9 o'clock position or 180 degrees out from 0. Then we're going to check it. Want to make sure that the end of the trace does not move. If it moves, we continue to dial it in until it does not move. Okay? All right. Sync replacement switch goes to the off position. We clear the command from the switcher. Next piece of equipment we're going to time. Our video source will be the camera. You can do either VTR or camera. We'll do the camera. Okay? First thing we want to do is call up the camera on preview. Make sure it's on bars. Okay? Go back to waveform. Check it. 1414. And if it's off, like this, we're going to have to time it. So we go back to the camera on the preview, come over to the CCU, we find H phase, okay, because we're doing H phase timing here, and we're going to put that puppy right on the crosshair so it matches our reference, the house sync. Then we'll check it. 1414. If it does not move forward or back, we are good to go. Now we'll go over to the vector scope. Check it first. 1414. Okay, there's our reference. There's our camera. Looks like it's off. So back to the camera, over to the adjustments, and bring the burst around.
Which one are you using right now?
I'm using the gen lock adjustment or the SC phase adjustment. Okay, we want to check to be sure that our phase is correct. It shouldn't be moving up or down. It might move back and forth, and if you can adjust that to CCU on the saturation, you can do that. And basically it can, but we're not going to do it on this. Okay. Once those are done, back to the waveform. Next thing we're going to set up is the VTR. We're going to put in the bars tape. We're going to hit play. We're going to verify the tape is playing. We're back on waveform. We're going to check it. The VTR is on input 3. On the preview, we go 3, 4. Check it to see if it moves. And if it does move, we're going to adjust the H phase. Let me get that put. Okay, so we'll check it first. We can see that it's moving. Go back to the VTR, come over to the time-based corrector. And dial it in, check it, make sure it doesn't move. Go to vector scope, check it. It's moving. We're going to want to adjust it. Our burst till it's at the 9 o'clock position. With the SC switch. Okay, once that is done, we're going to take the sync replacement switch, go to the on position, and then the next step is video level.